Hi everyone, welcome to video number 18. It is the 26th of February, it's a Monday here in New Zealand, and I'm ready for this week's update. I'd like to welcome you back if you've been here before, and to welcome new subscribers. I'm slowly churning up the subscribers. It's really nice, thank you. It's great to have chats with people in the comments, and I'm really enjoying the community that FlossTube is. If you're new to my channel, I am doing what I have termed the year of the prolific stitch. I'm a stay-at-home carer and I have time to stitch, so I have gone from being a one project at a time person to 8 projects at a time. In order to do that, I have formed a rotation, which I mentioned a couple of videos back, and so that just keeps me ticking over, and it gives me enough time to see progression in each of those projects. Okay, if you were with me last week, one of the projects that I showed you, I think it was the first day of its turn in the rotation, was Harvest Keeper by Plum Street Samplers. Glasses. I do this every time. Right. When I showed you last week, I had got the borders done around here. I've got this branch and its leaves, the top of this skip, and I had literally done a leaf and a half over there. So I had 4 days, or each project has 4 days before it then changes to another project, but I didn't stitch on one of the days for this, so this only got 3 days worth of stitching last week, and that's what we have got up to. So I had done a leaf and a half up here, so I've got all the leaves up here. I think there's another leaf at the end of this branch, the folds in the way, and I've started the top of that second skip. So there's a little skip here, but this is, oops, this is the next page down. This is all the page that I'm working on. So I've got a bit more of this skip to do, and then that page is actually finished. And I also mentioned, I don't know whether or not I'm going to be able to get you to see it easily. Basically that should all be in line, but there's a 2 stitch difference between the border and here. And what I have decided to do, initially I was going to shorten the trunk. If I put this down, put that down there. Initially I was going to shorten the trunk, but what I've decided to do after staring at this for a while, because I realised then this is all on a line, and if I shorten this, then that's going to push up and there's going to be a big gap in there, and she's going to push up. So what I've decided to do is add a stitch in here and a stitch in here somewhere. So basically add 2 stitches somewhere along here where it won't be too noticeable and it won't muck up the border too much, and then hopefully everything will be okay. The other reason for adding this, I thought too, it would be if I left it, did the trunk as the normal distance, again it was getting too close here, there wouldn't be the gap. So we'll see how that goes. So that's project 3. Project 4 is by Blackbird Designs, and I'm doing the Garden Club series as a one piece, and I'm now up to chart 2, which I thought I would get done quite easily in 4 days, given that chart 1 only took 5 days, and that had specialty stitches. Nope. So there we go. So that is my progress on chart 2. There is an awful lot. Let me just fold that back a little bit. This way around. It's very difficult doing it in the camera. just all the counting, just making sure that the counting is right, sort of added a lot more time. But I've finished this complete side, excuse all my threads, I've completed this complete side, I've got another leaf and a branch in here, and then it's just finishing that side. So there's probably 2 more days stitching in this. I seem to have lost the will, I guess, to sort of stitch for 5 or 6 hours at a time at the moment. I don't know if it's just, I'm not sure why, but so I'm only sort of doing 2 or 3 hours at a go, but I'm trying to go back at least once a day to have another stint if things allow. I hear my mother, and I didn't tell her I was making a video. Oh well, we'll press on and we'll see what happens. If I have to start again, I have to start again. Okay, so those 2 projects, the garden club finished yesterday for its slot in the rotation. Today is the first day of the free slot, so I've got 4 free days to do what I want. So because I was very late, I forgot to take this out of the plastic, sorry. Because I was very late in getting this, I mean, I've seen now people are already starting to stitch part 2. So I'm giving this some love today, and then its slot is actually at the end of next week. So I'll do a day today, I've done some now and I'll do some after, and then hopefully I'll get the rest of it finished in the 4 days of its slot. So this is part 1 of 9 Farmhouse Christmas Little House Needleworks, and I did show this to you last time. Oh, mine. Could just hold it by one thing. This fabric is so stiff. So last week when I showed it, I had got a bit of the border done, so I've just finished the whole border and thankfully it met. And I had a bit of white left over, so I just did, that's the top of the barn, a snowflake and a bit of snow on the ground. So I will do, as I said, a little bit more today and then put that away until its time comes up in the rotation. I was going to try my scroll frames with this fabric because I don't like the fabric at all, but I'm just going to plod through. I realised that I would have problems with the holding of the scroll frame and the sight and everything, so I'm just going to get on and grin and bear it and do it. Okay, so that's all I've got to show whip wise. I've got a little bit of haul. I ordered some more threads for my Quaker because I had initially ordered 4 skeins, not really knowing how much it would take, and I've already partway through, I'm a quarter of the way through, give or take, and I've already used 2 of the 4 skeins. I'm on to the 3rd skein already, so I ordered some more, and my fear was colour batch issues, and there is a very slight difference. I don't know if we'll be able to do this, how well we'll be able to show this. It'll be interesting to see what it looks like on the camera actually too. I don't know, you can, these are the original 2 and they're slightly darker than this, although in some lights they work okay together. It's not a huge difference, I'm not going to panic about it. What I think I will do is, that's my working one at the moment, I will have a working one of these and I'll just alternate a strand from this, a strand from that, and hopefully there won't be too big of a colour problem. It's marginal, it's very slight, and in fact if I don't know if I turn this around it makes any difference. It's a very slight difference, but it's not so bad that it's going to be a problem, so I'm not going to stress about it, and I will hopefully just crack on and you'll see some progress 2 weeks time, because yeah, it's the way a cookie the way the rotation works. I'm not with it at all today. I just wanted to get on and get this done. I haven't even got Olympics to watch today. Okay, Then my bit of haul, this was purely prompted by somebody posting in Stitch Mania that might have even been 123 Stitch, had the Prairie School or Christmas Village again, and I thought, right, I want that, so I went and ordered the threads that came in the haul and some charts, and all my charts are Prairie Schooler this time. So I've got Santa's House from 2010. It's suffice to say that none of this is the nice sturdier charts, but it doesn't matter. I mean, the Plum Street is all just copy paper. You know, it's thinner than this, so gosh, there's such a difference. Right. So I thought I quite liked that. Then I got By the Chimney, which I like even more. Then I got, so this is GHI, I'm collecting this alphabet series. I think I worked out there's something like 9 more charts to get. I have to check. This is obviously the third I've got, and I'll just keep adding these each time I place an order somewhere. I'll just get another one of these. I particularly like the Indian and the corn. It's quite cool. Okay, and then I got Christmas Eve, which is fabulous. Santa and his sleigh. Not sure I'm convinced about the wording in the snow. I might fiddle, or I might not. That might be too much. I might just leave it out completely. We'll see whenever we do it. And finally, Christmas Village. Oops, you know, then, which is really cool. I like houses, so that's my haul with my threads. And the only other stash enhancement, there was a thing went across the screen then, don't know what that was. I placed an order with the Fat Quarter Shop for my mini quilt interest, and I got 2 charm packs. I got this one called Flour Mill. I don't think it's going to be very easy to show. It's not like paper, it doesn't flick very well. You can get an idea of the colours there. Nice florals, plaids. And I got Desert Bloom, which has got some pales and some darks. Nice dark blues. And I've actually found on Pinterest a little mini quilt made with this. So there might be some copying. Anyway, so that's that. Short and sweet from me this week. There isn't really much else to say. I've tried to catch up on some of the people that I haven't seen for a while and trying to find some new people. And just getting on with things. So I shall love you and leave you. Nice and quick, 14 minutes. Have a good week, stitch all the things you want to stitch, and I will catch you back next week with hopefully a few things. There's no stash on its way currently, but I have paid for 4 new charts from the Nashville markets that's being, I guess they're being released next week. Excuse me, talking too much. So I've got 4 charts that I've paid for, and then I've seen Brenda Gervais charts and Plum Street's charts, and I think there's about 3 of each I'd like. I haven't seen anything from Blackbird Designs yet, but maybe they don't sneak anything until after things are released. I don't know. This is the first time I've ever fully been aware of the Nashville market, so at some point, where I've ordered the charts from, she said she's actually going to ship from Nashville, so hopefully they'll get in the post sometime next week, maybe towards the end of next week, and then it'll be another 10 days or so before I get them. So nothing to view stash wise for a couple of weeks, and then lots of new goodies hopefully. Okay, anyway, I've added another minute and a half of waffle, which is excellent, and I shall go. I'll see you next week, and the thing's gone across the screen again. I'll have to check that back. Okay, I shall go before something goes weird, and I'll catch you next week. Have a good week, everyone. Bye-bye.